The lady that just left, that was Nancy. She's one of my students. She started with me only a year, little bit more than a year ago. And what's happening is we're in this middle of this pandemic and we're kind of shut in. She belongs to our Tomodachi Kai group that meet once a month. And of course, we can't meet. And normally, I want all my students to do hands-on. Well, that's fine when you have a bunch of people that's been with you 20 and 20 plus years, right? They know how to do it. Well, they should. Well, they like coming in over here. They want me to just give them a nod, say, go ahead and do it. They're just being babies. But anyway, so for them, I told them that since we can't meet this month, and this is one of the busiest or the most important months for bonsai, I have them come pick up the soil, kind of a curbside. So they get off the car, give me the bucket, step back, I fill the bucket, I step back, they pick it up, and they're gone. Okay, so we want to be in compliance with the recommendation of the governor. Well, Nancy, being relatively new, she still needs more help, but we really can't meet in person. So what I thought I'd do is to have her drop it off like she did this morning. And I'm gonna be doing what I've been doing with you people out there, that I'll explain what we're doing. And when we're done, she could come pick it up. She'll pull up, I'll load it up. She can go home and we're all in compliance. So it's a little bit long procedure. One thing that was great about Nancy was that she didn't want to start from the beginning. So, what we did was very early on, found out what her comfort zone was in terms of spending per month, and then we went with the best product possible. That's why even with such short time with me, she's got some really great stuff. This one, I think we've been covering our junipers. So we just go in and cut. Well, one thing about this one, it's very healthy. And I wish we could do this hands-on because it'd be so much easier for her in the future. But this is the best we could do. So, okay, once again, review. Don't cut like this because you leave those brown marks. So you're gonna have to go in and cut them like that. That's why I'm using this one. I could get really close and it has a nice pointy. So I'm just gonna go in. And repeat. It's always hard to show these tight shots, but like that, right? So when I get done, it doesn't look like I've been pruning this. See? So these that come up like that. Just repeat. This tree is the Procumbens nana juniper. And luckily it doesn't hurt too badly. Occasionally they'll bite you, but not bad. Well, when it's somebody else's tree, I tend to take a little bit more time and do it better. You know how I do my demo real quick? Well, this is a good example of how it should be done. Slow and easy, make no mistakes. This Tomodachi Kai that she belongs to is made up of people that have genuine interests in bonsai. And, well, it's purposely kept small. I like to have about 5 people per workshop. I'll take 7 because a lot of times people miss it anyway. But when everybody shows up, it gets sometimes hectic. So I have a Saturday class, Friday and Thursday too. She belongs to the Thursday group, and generally there's about 4 or 5 in that one. And so if it wasn't for this pandemic, I would make her do this. And she's capable, but we were afraid that, well, this is a great month for doing things, and next month is also okay, but we're not sure what's going to happen next month. So I wanted to make sure that she felt comfortable with how we do things here. So I told her, just bring it. And then I thought, hey, wait a minute, I can make a video. And then you guys could watch worldwide what I have to do around here. And so, hey, she was agreeable, brought it over, probably next day or so she could come pick it up. And we're in full compliance. And I think that's one of the necessary things, that we all have to follow this advice from the people that know. And evidently, sounds like we're doing pretty good. So anyway, I've been trying to do everything I could to keep this going, but also follow the instructions, which is not what I normally do, but that's art. I don't like to follow rules in art, but when it's health like this, I will follow the rules. I'm going to stop here. Actually, if she wanted to, she could take these and pinch these back, make it a little tighter. So I'll go ahead and stop here, and then if she wanted to, she could do that. But I took care of the basics that she needed to do at this point. Now, this branch here, I think the norm would be to cut this off. But me being not so normal, I'm keeping it. So those are the kind of stuff that we have a discussion during the live class about whether we want to keep it or not keep it. And so I would say, well, this is not the traditional way of doing it like that, but do you want to keep it? And it would be up to her to decide what she want to do. Well, it's better to leave it, and so when she's watching this video, she decides she don't want it, cut it off. And that's basically how I run my classes. Here is a shore pine. And I'll go ahead and let you take a look. Now, generally, pines are not for beginners. Black pine tend to be even more difficult than shore pine. She wanted a pine, so we went with the shore pine. And this is not too bad. Since I really don't like sap on my hands, I put the gloves on. I think what we're gonna do with these is cut it so that there's only a little bit left at the base, and that becomes the new foliage. It's a little bit different than black pine. Well, at least it's growing that way. So that's what I'm gonna do and to see. I personally don't have a lot of shore pines. one of my former students moved to Oregon, and he said these are all growing in his front yard. So when he came by to visit, he brought me a bunch. So if it's too long, on the black pine, we do it slightly different because it grows differently. But for now, I'm just going to get rid of these and leave enough so that there's, looking at the apex right here. And I think I'm going to go this way, so I'll cut this off. And these get shortened, and then there should be a little side branch here. Now, there's some unnecessary branches, but it's relatively young, so I'll leave it. But soon this will get removed, and there's two here that one should get removed, but it doesn't have to be today. So you have to be looking at different stage of development, and this one is fairly young in terms of bonsai development. So we need to tighten it back in here. And if you keep letting these elongate too far, you'll never back branch. Now that's the difference between black and other pines. Blacks don't back bud very well. So if you make a mistake, it could be permanent. This one here should back bud, but if you use the same technique that you use for black pine, then you won't get in trouble. So this is okay, this is okay, and then this is our apex. Development later. We just shorten these things up to tighten it. Okay, I think this round we call it good enough. We're going to go into the growth season. Maybe this fall we might prune it again. It's starting to develop some nice lines in here. So I'll just kind of stop for now and get to the last one.